We are hosting an NBA draft live show that we are calling Sleepers Draftapalooza. Sleepers Media and friends. And by friends, I mean roughly 22 of our favorite people in the college basketball sphere. This includes national champions Tristan Newton, Alex Caravan. This includes Final Four participants Braden Smith, Grant Nelson. This includes my former star player Hunter Dickinson. This includes two guys who are allegedly worth $2 million this year, Coleman Hawkins and Great Osobor. This includes Illinois players or ex-players, Luke Goody, Jeremiah Fears' brother, Jeremy Fears on your team, Will Cheddar on my team, Ray McCallum, former NBA player and Country Day graduate, by the way, Drew Valentine, family, head coach at Loyola Chicago, Chris Holtman, former Ohio State head coach, DePaul, Sadi Washington, my former assistant coach. Now he's your assistant coach. Stephen Bardo, Illini legend, media great. Kevin Sweeney, Evan Miyakawa, Ryan Hammer, Joe Jackson. Special appearances from Young Mantis and none other than that boy D Hill. And maybe some more surprises in store. We're still getting some people trickling in being like, hey, can I be a part of this? It's all hosted by the two of us. And also Brian Ralph and Riley Davis, who have been helping us with a bunch of stuff on the channel. We are ecstatic about this. We announced this last night. Entirely self-produced, entirely self-scheduled, self-promoted, self-executed. And ultimately, I think this is going to be really, really fun. This is the most fun thing we've ever tried to do. Your thoughts, Cart?
Yeah, I'm scared. Scared. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm scared though. But if there's one thing that I can always feel good about.
But I'm scared.
No, I'm scared. I'm scared. But the thing is, what helps me when I'm scared is when I know that me and you can operate in a two-man if needed. I feel like
Ooh.
us versus fear. I like our odds. You know what I'm saying? And then we add some spaced out shooters in Riley and Ralph that if we need to kick, we can work off that. But I kind of like us 2v2 versus fear.
So we're like minus 150 against fear in a head-to-head.
I think you're giving fear a little bit too much. I'd probably cap us at like minus 225.
Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, no, that's actually a really good point. It's never good when we like announce something and then I ask you to talk about it and you say I'm scared 5 times in the first 20 seconds. That's never good. I am also scared, but I'm also excited. And I'm also not that scared because of exactly what you just said. Worst case scenario, we got us. And I think if we tried to do the show without 22 really cool guests, we would probably do great and people would like it.
Yeah,
So,
but in all seriousness, besides the actual, because I'm not really that scared. That's
I'm
just
scared.
okay. That's fine. Well, we'll let you do that. I'm more so like just I'm anxious because I'm like pretty proud that this came together. Like whether it's you reaching out to people, myself, Riley, Ralph, guys like behind the scene like Guy, Jacob, Dylan, and honestly anyone who really like helped bring this together. The fact that it has come together and it's going to happen is just great. If there's one thing that sleepers can always, and I guess, okay, first of all, never going to be doing this third person shit again. I don't know who we think we are, who I think I am, but for this exercise, I'm going to do it. One thing sleepers I think does extremely well is that visions are executed. Like we don't have just like a file of ideas that never come to fruition. Like we try it and we make it happen. And will it go good? Most likely because, you know what I'm saying? Sheesh, we're kind of that. But it also might fail. That's fine though. But we got an empty, like our idea cabinet, like the folder we got. I don't know if we actually got one, but it's empty because any idea, anything that needs to be executed, we do it. We make visions come to life. And this is one of those visions.
Yeah, you always say there's certain players in college basketball that are like a do him guy, and you love
Yeah.
do him guys. We are a do them podcast. Like
Like
we
just do
come up
them.
with an idea, we do them.
Do
We
it.
do those. That's what we
Yes.
do. This is us doing it. Yeah, no, in all seriousness, we did a test run last night. This is the first live stream we've attempted to do, and the test run looked great. Everything went extremely smooth. So obviously you're adding a lot of variables with people coming in and out, and You never know what's going to happen. I'm sure some surprises will come in store. You and I did have the realization last night on FaceTime after we put this announcement out. We were pretty excited about it because it seemed to be pretty well received. We were talking on the phone, and we had the realization that in the worst case scenario for this, that's okay because it's just us. Like there are some institutions out there that, like, if everything just gets destroyed and blows up horribly, like, they kind of got to answer for that, and it's a big deal. If this just is a total failure and like nothing works, it's just like, oh, that's sleepers. Like that's part of our brand. It's like we mess a lot of shit up. So I think we kind of have a get out of jail free card. And then if this goes extremely well, everyone's gonna be like, oh my God, how did they do that? And that's obviously the hope. I think it's more likely it goes really well than it goes really poorly. I have gotten some questions on how is this going to work logistically. Would you like to try and explain to people how this is going to work logistically? You were on the trial run last night. What'd you think?
I think it's going to work great. I think we done, a pretty good job of pre-planning this. Obviously, during a live show, I don't think I've ever been a part of a live show or seen a live show. There isn't some type of hiccup, whether the people watching see the hiccup or not. But there's one thing that we can pull off. It's a good pivot, really good at keeping our pivot foot. But I think it's going to work great. We got some great graphics to go along with things. And just like outside of the draft, outside of the guests that we're going to bring on, who I think are going to be great, I think it's going to be great to be able to watch the draft live and react, because I think live react things are something that, personally, I think we're built for. So it's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy it. I love watching the draft in general. And Jacob did a great job too with all the graphics and things like that. So the product is going to look really good, which I think sleepers can always hang their hat on. The product's going to look good.
Yeah, our boy Karabatsos has been hard at work on this. We appreciate his efforts. There are people who have asked, like, hey, is this a draft show? What is this? If the Draftapalooza name did not give it away enough, yeah, the intent here is you're watching the NBA draft with us. It's a watch along, basically. And we want it to feel like a Manning cast style thing. Like on Monday Night Football, if you're sitting down to watch the football game, you can watch the traditional broadcast or you can watch this fun variation of it. And we've seen the NBA experiment with that. Like in the playoffs, they had Kevin Hart and friends just kind of being funny and reacting. That's our intent here. Now, obviously, all these names, I mean, there's an NBA player on this list. There are guys who cover the NBA on this list. There's a guy who could get drafted during this show on this list. Most of these names, though, are people that are relevant in college basketball, maybe a little more than they are in the NBA. And my view on this, not to get all marketing promotional guy here, but I feel like this is an NBA draft show for college basketball fans. And I don't know that there's ever been an NBA draft show for college basketball fans. Anything I've ever watched, anything I've ever been a part of has been an NBA draft show for NBA watchers. And that's fine. There's probably a lot more NBA fans that'll be watching the draft. But if you are a college basketball fan who maybe was, not even sure if you were going to watch the draft, hopefully now there's this really cool thing that's out there that exists that has some names that are really relevant in your world that you're going to get to see interviewed live, get to see them react. Everybody has a time slot. So behind the scenes, all these names you see on our flyer have agreed to join at a certain time during the NBA draft. And we did stagger this, trying to put people in relevant spots to where, like, if there's a player that they played with, somebody that they coached, somebody that they know personally, we tried to make sure they come on after that player gets selected in the draft as much as we possibly can. Now, the NBA draft is unpredictable. Maybe that won't happen, but I think you should be able to kind of tell as this goes where certain people will slot in. And yeah, it'll be a lot of like just live reaction. Like if we got Alex Caravan on the show and Zach Edey gets taken before Donovan Clingan, we're going to be reacting to that. Like, yo, how crazy is this shit? Alex, what happened? And I think that'll open up some really fun possibilities.
100%. I also have a fun fact about every prospect. So I might have to whip that out. Like instead of talking about how, they grew up in like homeless their whole life and their happiest moment of all time, I'm gonna have like a fun fact about them.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice as they're walking on the stage or feeling good, getting drafted, and you don't tell me that their parents were addicted to drugs or something like that. I'm gonna have fun facts about people.
You also don't
Ridiculous.
have those though.
Yeah, but I just committed to it now, so way to give myself something to work on the rest of the day.
On the flyer, you can see this very clearly. There is a little bit of a footnote asterisk that says, assuming they actually show up after agreeing to do this, which, let's be honest, is a bit ambitious. We did put that asterisk on every single name essentially on this show. Again, there's 22 people who have signed up to be a part of this. How confident are you that everyone will be a part of this show that is on the flyer?
I'm very confident.
Okay. You're more
Very.
confident than I am.
One
Yeah.
of us has to be.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, look, I all of straight up, all of these people agreed to do this. We have written proof that all of these people said yes to do this. And most of them, like 90%, responded yesterday with like, I'm in, let's do it, lock in the time spot. So it's really 1 to 2 people that are left that one was going to be a pre-record interview and one just hasn't seen the message that I sent him yesterday on his time slot. So as long as we can lock up 2 people the final day, I think everyone's going to show and be a part of this, but I'm a
Hey, if we
little
were
concerned.
doing something, let's go back and look ahead. If we got to this point, like I told you this 2 weeks ago that we only had 2 people left to confirm, wouldn't you feel kind of good? Wouldn't you think the number we higher?
Oh yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
was ready to tweet the flyer out if we had like 9 people that hadn't confirmed yet.
yeah.
So
So
yeah, yeah. Just check your DMs though. If you're the person that yeah, that's on this list that hasn't confirmed that you're in for the pre-record we were supposed to do today, just check your DMs. Maybe. That'd be nice.
please,
Who are you most excited about on this list?
Hunter.
Really?
Yeah, it's time. It's time for him. It's time for him to be on.
It's it's time.
It's
I
time.
I'm really excited about the Yukon guys, Caravan and Newton. Like it's crazy that Newton could get drafted tomorrow night and he signed up to do this. And I mean Caravan, we've been advocating Caravan's jersey could go in the rafters at Yukon one day. Like really, really cool that we get to talk to him. Give me like an underrated or under the radar one that you're kind of sneaky excited about.
Ooh, underrated that I'm sneaky excited about. You know what? I go with Great Osobor because I didn't see that one coming, and he's like he was the alleged $2 million man before we got the other $2 million man. Also, kudos to us. We found everyone who was highly paid, got him on the show, left the poor boys off the flyer.
Yeah, I think if you add up what each of these players will be making next season, it might be over $10 million. That's crazy. I am sneaky excited for the Fears brothers, Jeremy and Jeremiah. As far as I know, this is like their first interview. I mean, I haven't seen Jeremy Fears do like a long form interview anywhere, and Jeremiah Fears still in high school. So very excited to see that tandem. Obviously, they've been working out together all over the Big Ten lately, but yeah, I'm pumped that we get to actually kind of go behind the scenes with them a little bit. And I'm excited for everybody on this list, though, not to like choose names, but getting Drew back on the show for the first time in a while. Chris Holtman agreeing to do this is awesome. I think Sadi is going to be compelling. Bardo has been crushing it. I'm excited for him. Anytime we get to talk to Kevin Sweeney, it's good. Evan Miyakawa debut on the channel. Ryan Hammer and I have been going back and forth on some content ideas. So maybe this is a sign of things to come collaboration wise between us and him. And Joe Jackson tweeted this out last night when we announced this. He tweeted the like clown in the soldiers meme. I want to just make it very clear. Joe Jackson is like a superstar. And if we can play like any role in people discovering Joe, I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, I've actually personally, I haven't even let him know this. I've dedicated myself to letting the world know and sing Joe Jackson's praises. And I'm tired of him carrying himself like he's Caleb First. And that's no disrespect to Caleb First, but he's not. He's Cam Heidi. He needs to act like it. Honestly, we need to get Joe Jackson a chain.
You want to get Joe a haircut, a chain, and like
Yes,
and a tank top.
yes. Like
Yeah.
I get it. I love him. Yes, he'd be the quirky elf, and that's great during Christmas time. But also, like, I want to get him some low-rise pants, show some ankle, get a cut, get a chain on, and
Yeah.
show him to the world.
Like, Buddy the Elf was fine in the North Pole, but he really popped off when he got to NYC. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Big lights, Joe Jackson.
I'm pumped for this. Any final thoughts? No, probably not.
Well, one last one. Don't let us get hot.
Yeah, I mean that'd be.
Why
I
are they
just
going? Why are they going? Why are they going? Why do people continue to go under screens on us?
think there's a lot of people surprised.
Why are they sagging?
Think there's a lot of people surprised that we're attempting to pull this off.
Don't be.
Maybe a little underestimated. Maybe just a tiny little bit. Maybe not, but maybe a little bit. Any comment on the fact that when I tweeted this out, I tweeted the wrong time?
That just adds to the brand. That's what we are.
It's so good.
That's also a me move. I'm kind of upset you took that. Like that should have been. That's something I do.
It's so bad that I did that, but it's so good. Like
It is.
it sets the tone that everything can go wrong.
It's
Uh,
us.
7:30 is when this is starting Wednesday night, live on the
Eastern
Sleepers
time,
Media YouTube channel.
Greg.
It's Eastern time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, Wednesday night. 30 minutes before the actual draft broadcast starts. Guests will start very quickly into the show. So be prepared. That boy D Hill is hitting leadoff. That's the only name that I'll reveal. Dion Hilford is going to be the first person to come on the show. That link is available. It's on the Sleepers Media YouTube channel. If you navigate over to live, there's tabs for like videos, playlists, and then there's live. You will find the link for the Draftapalooza. It's also pinned in our Twitter account right now. Go check it out. Save that link. Come back and watch the NBA draft with us. Should be 3, maybe 4 hours of fun on Wednesday night. And I can't wait. Thanks to all the people who helped promote this and received this in a really good way. Should be a really, really fun time. And maybe, only maybe, a complete disaster. The NBA draft is coming up, and I've got something awesome for you. We are partnering with the people at NBA 2K Lab. NBA 2K is the best video game on earth. The people at 2K Lab are making some awesome stuff to make that game even more fun, and they just launched their 2024 NBA Draft Simulator, where you can find the official Sleepers Media big board. We ranked our top 75 players in this draft class. Me, Carter, Brian Ralph, Riley Davis. We did it together, and it is featured on the 2K Lab NBA Draft Simulator. You can take control of any team in the draft, play GM with just one click, and see our entire rankings before these videos even come out. Check out the link in the description of this video to try out the draft sim for yourself, and you can find more mini games at NBA2KLab.com/NBA-mini-games.